Look at a cat resting on a sunlit windowsill. They are perfectly still, eyes half closed, vibrating with a steady purr. To a human observer, this is the definition of comfort. However, because of the way these animals are biologically wired, this same serene posture is often maintained even when the animal is experiencing significant physical distress. This stoicism is a biological imperative. In the wild, felines are solitary hunters without the protection of a pack. This means any display of physical vulnerability serves as a signal to both predators and rivals that they are an easy target. For a wildcat, staying silent isn't a choice, it's a survival strategy. While the predators are gone, the programming remains. In a modern home, this instinct to hide weakness makes it incredibly difficult for owners to spot the early stages of chronic conditions, such as advancing dental disease or the slow onset of arthritis. Without a limp or a cry of pain to guide us, we tend to categorize these hidden signals as simple changes in temperament. We assume the cat is getting grumpy or lazy as they age, rather than recognizing a body under stress. Acknowledging that a cat is hardwired to mask its own suffering is the first step toward identifying health issues before they become irreversible. When physical discomfort becomes too intense to hide through stillness, it often leaks out into what looks like bad behavior. The most misunderstood of these shifts is house soiling. Eliminating outside the litter box is rarely a choice of preference or spite. For a cat with joint pain, the simple act of stepping over the high plastic sides of a box can be an agonizing ordeal. They avoid the box because they have associated that specific location with physical trauma. Physical conditions like feline idiopathic cystitis, or FIC, further complicate this. This inflammation makes urination feel like a burning sensation, driving the cat to seek out softer, cooler surfaces like rugs or laundry in a desperate attempt to find relief. We see a similar misunderstanding with the unfriendly cat, the pet that suddenly swats or bites when an owner reaches out to pet them. If a cat lash out when you touch their lower back, they are often reacting to a memory of pain. They aren't trying to be mean. They are utilizing defensive aggression to prevent a touch they anticipate will hurt. These reactions are preceded by specific physical markers. A cat anticipating pain will crouch low, drawing their limbs inward. Their pupils will dilate as they focus on the perceived threat, and their ears rotate sideways into a protective spatulate orientation. This differs from offensive aggression, where the cat actively moves to drive the threat away. In this state, the mouth opens to hiss or yowl, the teeth are bared, and the ears rotate forward to track the source of the discomfort. Attempting to punish these behaviors is counterproductive. It adds environmental stress to an animal that is already struggling with a medical crisis they cannot communicate through traditional means. While sudden aggression is an alarm, most physical signs are much quieter, hidden in the way a cat grooms itself or chooses to rest. Take the purr, for example. While we associate it with happiness, cats also purr to self-soothe. It is a physiological mechanism used during high-stress situations, localized injury, or even when an animal is near death. You can see the difference in their posture. A relaxed cat sprawls out, but a cat in pain adopts a hunched crouch. They sit with their weight forward, shoulders tense, and paws tightly tucked. They may look like they are napping, but their muscles remain braced. Their coat also tells a story of its own. If a cat stops grooming their lower back or hind legs, it's often because the spinal flexibility required to reach those areas has become too painful. Conversely, localized overgrooming in one specific spot can be an attempt to lick away an internal ache. This defensive instinct is present from birth. Even young kittens will reflexively mask their vulnerability, defaulting to a tense, hissing posture the moment they feel physically threatened or unwell. As the condition progresses, the cat may retreat to unusual, isolated hiding spots or show a sudden, marked increase in water consumption. These are the silent indicators of systemic issues like kidney disease or thyroid imbalances. These habits aren't random. Every shift in posture and daily routine is data reflecting the cat's internal state. Effectively managing a cat's health requires a shift in how we observe them. We have to look past the surface level of fine and focus on the specific biological markers that appear long before a cat becomes visibly ill. Waiting for a cat to stop eating or start limping is a high-risk strategy. Because they are experts at hiding pain, once the symptoms are that obvious, the underlying medical condition is likely already advanced. The most effective tool is a behavioral baseline. Note their normal resting positions, their standard litter box usage, and their typical grooming frequency while they are healthy. This diagram illustrates a simple diagnostic threshold. If you notice 2 or more subtle deviations from that baseline, such as a shift in hiding spots paired with localized overgrooming, it is time for a veterinary exam. Caring for a cat means acknowledging their wild heritage. By learning to see through their biological mask, we can provide the medical support their instincts tell them to never ask for.